So in brief, the last session that we were together in, 2020 feels like, having regrouped upon entering Dungeon 2 after initially being split up, your party spent some time stealthing through the jungle with some mixed results, and overall managed to surprise a mixed group of tigers, apparently being led by some kind of humanoid tiger figure. Despite their formidable size and presence, including one huge saber-tooth tiger that Fokionis all but tripped over, your group handled them without too much fuss at all, with only a few minor scrapes and injuries. The only difficult customer proving to be that humanoid tiger that initially you disturbed with some very high perception, found feasting on a human corpse in the undergrowth that you
That's the one that ran away.
moved past. So after seeing multiple tigers emerge from the undergrowth and one saber-tooth that you dispatched, the humanoid tiger disappeared briefly from view, only to be sighted running away through the undergrowth, downhill and away from you guys. And Fock and the Drake briefly caught up with him after chasing him down, but he then was lost from view to the south of you all, and on the map there's a marker, a dot that shows where he was last sighted. And where you now find yourselves is that Fokionis and Drake, you're the easiest ones to describe. So you're in that downhill section. It's thick jungle, but it's not completely impenetrable. So the guys on the higher ground have some visibility of you. If they were to attack you, we worked out it was something like 3/4 cover, even though Alia apparently just ignores that now. Thanks for that little update, Zach. And for Alia, Zach, and Jake, who are still up top, you are surrounded by just the aftermath of this this battle. There's blood, gore, tiger corpses that are in various states of being torn, ripped, electrocuted, just pulled apart. I think one of the saber-tooth tiger tusks got ripped out, and the saber-tooth tiger is the worst off, because it's scorched by fire, hit by lightning. It's quite a reasonably pleasant smelling charred mass, but there's not much of it left apart from some white bones sticking through that gore. The other couple of tigers, they're large but mostly intact. They got ripped up a bit, but they weren't hit with the same level of magic and wrath as the saber-tooth tiger was. So where you're currently situated, that humanoid tiger has disappeared from your view. Last seen hightailing it to the south, and from those of you at the higher vantage point, and the lower, you've each got different perspectives on this, but it did look like there was only kind of one direction he could go to be lost from sight. It wasn't like he had a myriad of different options with the visibility that you guys had on him. But where that leaves us is you guys needing to decide, what would you like to do now? Where would you like to go? What do you want to do?
Dead.
I made the mistake of reading Lily's messages in chat.
Oh, don't do that. Or do that.
I'm curious to know what it was that Jake would like to try and seduce out of what's left behind. Anyway, sorry.
Kings.
I don't. I'm looking forward to finding out.
Whoa, okay.
Wait, is near death? Are they all dead?
Yes. So you have, if you log in, I think you already are. So if you look around yourselves, I left the corpses.
But one's saying near death. That's why I'm a little worried.
Oh, they've got the skull. Sorry, no, that just means I didn't bother going back to that health, because when they die, they tend to. You guys overkilled them so much with the damage. Like every killing one was so much. I think the one to the right, to Zachary's right, got beheaded, I believe. The one near Alia is mostly intact, but got a bit torn up with some thorns and many arrows. and the saber-tooth tiger just got absolutely blitzkrieged. But yeah, they're all dead. I'll fix their health. All right, so Ali is just heading on down to meet up with the Drake. You should be able to move yourself. Feel free. You're out of combat at this point is where we finished as well. So you don't have any initiative order or anything. You're with that tiger disappearing from view. You're to your own devices. I need to bring Jake back out of hiding. Sorry about that, Jake.
Can I have a look to see, like, if
those ears are
the
so...
tigers are like guarding anything or like their nest, or if this is just a good spot for an ambush, like just a random spot for them.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of was I guess a place they could corral us like into the cliffs.
Okay, so
yeah,
coming back to Zach, there were two things there. So you're looking to see. I would say with that, you're primarily looking to see if there was a like a den or something nearby, or
yeah,
ambush. That's essentially what you're trying to establish, isn't it?
Yeah.
For that, I would get you to do an investigation check for me, please. If anyone wants to help him, feel free to do so.
Okay.
I can help with what it's worth. Yeah.
I need to be faster than that.
Yeah, that was
12.
So with the 12, you cast around a bit. There's so much, like there was so much gore from some of these and so much blood that it's been now trampled into the ground, and Ali had just stomped away through unceremoniously one section that looked a little bit promising, but it's now a bit mucked up. But I would say with the initial roll, like you're casting around the plateau, around those three corpses, and around where the little nook where the were-tiger was. It looks like they were setting up an ambush. It's about really all you can see is the obvious with on that section that you just investigated.
They ambush us here. You should have a look at that corpse.
Should we investigate? Yeah, corpses like for I don't know, food.
Food.
Yep. Let me just move this tiger out of the way because that corpse was under
trash not food enough?
the shrub that he's.
Could be like sharks. You might find number plates and all sorts inside them.
All right, so it's not letting me ping the corpse that it's under where that tiger was. That's the shrub, sorry, where that corpse was. If you want to go back and investigate it, and I need to jump to a different section for that.
Can we skin them? Like what's left of the pelt?
I am definitely happy to go back to that question. Yeah. I missed that, sorry, Racer. I do apologize. So we've got Zach going to do a look at the corpse under the shrub. Specifically, what do you... Actually, I'm happy if you just do an investigation of it, Zach, unless you have something specific you're looking for that we may need to do a different roll. Man, did you get his star sign as well? Yeah, you are muted. Long walks along the beach. Okay. Fucking hell. That's a high roll. I'm just going to the right section. The jungle entry where you guys were there. Here we go. So picking your way through that corpse, Zach, you
got bingo.
Oh, I forgot bingo was on the go as well.
I love how everyone just forgot.
I fucking made it. Like, how bad is that?
I forgot about bingo completely.
Yeah.
All right. So you find as you pick your way through that corpse and actually, you get right in there. Like you're moving the remaining entrails out of the way. You can see really clearly that those prime cuts of meat have been removed, so that the heart's gone. The liver was almost entirely eaten. It looks like maybe that was the last thing that you disturbed. The tiger that you saw or you guys sensed there from that meal was definitely getting into the liver. The kidneys are gone. The most of the crappy bits, like literally the ones that are full of shit, have been moved off and tossed over to the side. There's big chunks that are taken out of, like the bicep, the throat's been removed, and it looks like that with the 26 that there may have been a couple of visits to this corpse. It definitely appears like the eyes have been pecked out by crows or something similar of that nature, that are birds or something that have taken those and removed the nose and exposed that cavity, like getting into things like the eyes, the nose, the lips, the ears, appear to have been kind of pecked away as opposed to have torn, like you can sight in some of the other areas. And as you are going through, you also find that kind of half underneath this corpse is a bloodstained leather case that you can. Would you like to look in there as part of what you're finding out here, or do you want to just hold on to that for the moment?
Yeah.
So when you open that up, it looks reasonably familiar to you because you've seen some different party members using these. You don't need to get identified in that quite high quality leather case. There is a set of thieves' tools that appear undamaged, and there is also what appears to be, in odd contrast, some sort of holy symbol. It's sort of a plain wood. It's inlaid with some gold. It's quite simple, but it is definitely, you can see that it's high quality. And then finally with the 26, you also pick up that where you can see that there were those big bite marks, and kind of fitting with some of the tigers you've encountered, in the lower portions of that body, untouched by those big bites, it looks like there are some smaller mouths that have bitten into things like toes and heels and calves, almost identical to the larger incisions that you can see from that are very consistent with the tigers that you encountered, but much, much smaller. And that's what you get with your 26. Actually, no, leaving out, you did do a 26. And there are also some, I'll give you that, even with all the mud and blood, going off around to the left, like to that downhill section back the way that you guys originally came in, you can see like a bit of a mess of tracks with some smaller tiger footprints in keeping with those larger ones that you've now seen a few times. And you've definitely seen some of the owners of them. Some much tinier little cub-like footprints. And that's your 26 done.
Walking things. Oh dear.
Kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty.
Get a pet tiger.
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't.
Because you guys need more fucking pets.
Add to the rat, to the drake, to the dog, to the kitty.
There's no one saying the hangover.
Kitty, 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 kitty.
Yeah,
all we need to find out is a baby.
Some crazy dude's gonna rock up, class, motherfucker. All right. Find Mike Tyson.
So, yeah, exactly. You'd have to have a Mike Tyson tiger trainer, wouldn't you? So now coming back to Alia and Jake, leave Zach with that knowledge that he's gained, and he can decide what and how he shares with you guys as we progress. But so Alia and Jake, you guys were both talking about potentially skinning.
Yep.
I'm just saying, if we could make a tiger onesie for Alia at some point,
I feel
it
like,
would be adorable.
I don't know. I feel like Jake probably needs like 50% more clothing.
50% less clothing? Yeah, we could do that. Don't worry.
I don't know that that's possible, isn't it?
We did establish that
50%
Jake was
2%
wearing his elven cloak in addition to the golden snitch. Lily did actually point that out to me, which I very much appreciated, because I was factoring in like, oh man, Jake's AC and what he's wearing is very problematic.
Oh, man, forget about it.
All right, so you're in. So I'll give you that there is definitely, you can tell. Obviously, the saber-tooth tiger has been like that any part of it is, except for maybe trying to extract one of those large teeth, is damaged beyond any hope of salvation. The tiger that's next to Zach, I just moved it back because it was obscuring the bush. The pelt appears mostly intact, and the head has been clean, and the head is intact on that one as well. The one that is next to you, Jake, is the one that the pelt is largely intact with some like cuts through it, but the major damage that it took and the major trauma that ended its life was its head being removed by a big Phocyonis leap. So you have one that appears like it's a largely intact pelt, and the other that is largely intact and a head that's intact. They're just not joined.
I've killed it.
One for Jake and one for Alia.
So if you do want to attempt to skin it,
these bastards.
Yeah, I did actually put together what I just need to load a different section. I did put down jot down a couple of DCs on skinning of these tigers, because I had a suspicion that you would probably want to. That you would probably want to. Probably want to skin them, because I know that I would. All right. Sorry, give me a sec. I'm waiting for this. Should get you your bingo. I'm waiting for the OneNote find to find the skin the skin section, because I don't remember which tab it was in. Okay, so in order to attempt this, and I know you both definitely have it, so you, rather than a sword, you do need some sort of suitable knife for skinning. And I'll give you, Alia, that even your your poisonous dagger, you're not putting the bonus action to it to poison it, be quite suitable for it. And Jake, if I remember correctly, you have some daggers, as well as
I have dynamite as well.
No, put it away.
Would you like to skin the tiger with dynamite, Jake?
No, not this time anyway.
Could you imagine? Jesus Christ.
I was hopeful, because that would mean more dynamite was taken out of Jake's inventory.
I'll always have dynamite now.
I would happily have some dynamite get exploded, even if he did leave his pocket dynamite go with the strange fish lady. All right, so the one, Jake, you're attempting to skin the one that is fully intact. So can you give me a survival check, please, with whatever your character has for survival? Any of your bonuses, etc. 9 in total. So you manage to hack away. You definitely get the skin off the tiger, and it is a giant tiger, so there's plenty of skin there. But what you end up with is you've got the head. There's a bit of spine as well, and there's a thin strip of skin and hide still holding on to the head, and you've managed to capture about 30% of the pelt. But you're a bit out of practice with this, because you've been using a flaming rapier and burning and blowing shit up. So the dexterity of the finest motor skills of skinning, just a little bit out of practice with. So it's a real hodgepodge with cuts and nicks and gaps in it. And it's got a tiger head, which is pretty cool. You may be able to take it to someone to work with that amount of raw material, because like I said, it was a giant tiger, and you've managed to get about 20 or 30% of its hide.
Can I give it all to Alia?
Yeah, you absolutely can give it all to Alia. While you're heading over to Alia, can you please do the same thing? So do a survival check, and let's see where you land with your headless tiger.
17.
So while Jake is just hacking away at this thing, like a monkey with a piece of flint, you take a moment to kind of walk around, size the tiger up. You move some of the paws and positions of the legs, and the body's getting a little bit stiff, but rigor mortis hasn't fully set in it by any stretch, and won't for quite some time yet. So laying it out that way, and putting the head to one side because it's cleanly severed, you actually manage to skin your tiger. Only a few little nicks and cuts in it, and you also manage to keep all 4 of the paws intact in your skin. So you actually have about, what did you do? 17. You've got about 80% of that hide. You don't have to do anything with the head unless you choose to try and do something with it, and the paws as well with the 17. And Jake's heading over to you with whatever you guys want to do with your combined hides.
So I'm still standing underneath everyone, aren't I?
You're down with the Drake, and Ali was heading towards you and then turned around and headed back when she heard people talking about skinning.
As long as neither of them fucking throw lotion at me and tell me to rub the lotion on my skin, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
How big? How big in comparison is the tiger to me?
Much bigger. So
like fox size?
No. It's when it was standing up.
Not even fox size.
It's shoulder. Like its head standing on all 4s was taller than Fokionis standing upright. These are giant tigers.
Fuck.
That look scares me.
Want to wear a tiger skin?
I mean, why not? I think I look good in the skin of the tiger.
Aaliyah just kind of hands this thing to fuck.
Keep in mind, this is not cured. This is not.
Yeah.
This is just literally the skin that has been taken off, not neatly and tidily, but there's still bits of meat and blood and mucus and membrane underneath this hide. And Fokio, it would envelop, like you could wrap this thing around you, Jake, and Zach, with like Alia sitting at your feet and wrap it around you. So it is hanging, it is dragging behind you like the world's most unique wedding train. you have you don't get any bonuses from this. This is purely cosmetic, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a hindrance.
What if?
Do not underestimate the bonus to me personally. Like, good state of mind, good performance. Just saying.
It's a really high quality leather. Like it's a nice hide. Oh, sorry, hide.
Would we be tall enough if I was standing on Fox's shoulders?
Ooh, I see where you're going.
And
those are us.
Tall enough for what? Because I think I know where you're going with this. But
to be a tiger. Because that tiger is going to be on my head. That tiger head is going to be on my head.
You absolutely can. You know what? Why don't you do a performance check and see what you guys, both of you. Sorry, you can roll individually. You can roll one with advantage. Give me a performance check.
You want me to roll where?
Have you got
wherever you like.
Got any plus or anything?
I've got a +2 initiative. Does that count?
Not for performance, no.
For performance.
No, I've got +0. Does that help?
Oh, I'm the same.
Okay. Well, my charisma's 10. What's yours?
My charisma's 10 as well.
Ah, crap. All right, let's just roll separate and see what happens.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna roll in here. I never do this, but this could be terrible.
Holy shit!
It
It worked out all right for Alia.
Okay. Maybe I don't want to roll you now. Right,
There's
charisma
2 of you
7.
involved in this, so I need.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm doing it, Spar.
Actually, you both were doing rolls individually, so we've already established that.
Ability check. Yes.
No,
For
performance.
performance.
I don't know
You'll
where it
see
is
it
on here.
in your.
It's in the big list.
It's in that, yeah. It's in there with survival,
Oh, skills. There we go.
nature, history.
Performance. Just roll. Normal, public. Right. Okay, now.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Look, I will give you that. Like this, Ali's just eyes gleaming with delight, and Fokionis immediately agreeing to this plan, clambers back over, and with like minimal effort, because this thing is like huge. Ali is just like, and there is just slops of grey brain matter and whatever was inside that tiger skull, and like just pushes on it, and the eyeballs pop out. They're out of the way, and the raccoon head is now inside the tiger head, and not sure exactly what she's doing, but somehow when she's like talking, the tiger's jaw starts clicking up and down, and you every now and then get this glimpse of Alia inside it. I'm so sorry, Lily, I just saw your message about your so for those of you who can see this, it shouldn't work, but it is startlingly accurate what Alia is doing and how she has managed to kind of capture the essence and movement of how that tiger's head and kind of neck, and to a lesser extent shoulders, just because we do run into issues of size, work. Fokionis, on the other hand, like he's wrapping himself as best he can into a tiger, and he looks like that little kid who's got the onesie on and is doing their best impression of "I'm a real tiger." What he hasn't considered is that tigers, including the ones you've seen, apart from the humanoid one that was much smaller, was on all fours, and Fokionis has wrapped things around and kind of tried to flop the feet of the tiger over his feet, and he's got the arms wrapped and slung around himself so he can get the paws on his hands. But you've basically at the moment got a tiger burrito with an incredibly and startlingly lifelike functioning head on top, walking through the jungle at about 8.5 feet tall at the moment, with Fokionis's head sticking out so I can see where he's going.
Look, you assume that we are basing our tiger-like prowess on a tiger that walks on all four. What you are discounting is that we, in fact, are basing our tiger performance on Tigger to eat double girl. As you know, spends most of his time upright.
Tigger certainly does. So are you saying that with Alia on your head, like bounce up, down, you're going to be bouncing?
Have you met Alia? Bouncing already.
Not
a
spring
problem.
in the tail. And you're good.
That's right.
Oh my god.
I mean, I can't promise that I'll keep up with the bouncing all the time, but I'll give it a go.
This sounds like faultless Fokionis logic, and would probably help with the movement, considering the way you've kind of tied yourself in the skin. It might be easier. It's definitely going to be easier than running at this point.
Aren't you glad you decided to?
I really am. This is making me so happy. I anticipated the tigers being tried to be skinned at least. I did not anticipate. Didn't see that coming. Yeah. So the rest of you, I mean, Zach, you can see kind of the top of this happening. You can't really see Fokionis so much. You can definitely see the head pop up and what Alia does, and it looks quite realistic. And Jake, you're a little bit the same. You can see a bit more of Fokionis from behind. You've got a closer viewpoint and a little bit of a higher vantage point with that rock you're on near the tiger that you're heading over towards. Did Jake manage to give Alia the extra, essentially, tiger head and bits of skin yet?
I have no idea.
Well, if Alia's already run off and done that, can I offer it to Zach so Zach can join in on the tiger performance?
You guys can do whatever you like.
Zach.
I predict that before we finish tonight, we won't really have moved from this cliff face. That's my strong opinion.
Yeah, but don't you want to go
What?
RAWRRR?
Yeah, literally have a wand of polymorph. You don't need to-
Then go RAWRRR.
Halloween, we gotta be wearing costumes.
Look, you do that. I'll put this tiger skin on, and we'll both go RAWRRR.
I don't think.
Do it.
Papa just says, do it.
It's.
Is this faint voice echoing through the undergrowth?
Yeah, I don't think we should be
When a
announcing
tiger
our
comes
position
along,
to
you
all
must
the
do it.
tigers in the forest.
But we will be tigers.
Do it.
Do it.
I mean that. I know that logic makes sense to you, but
You
Just do
just
it.
don't want to
You know you
RAWRRR
want
with
to.
me. What about just
Do
an
it.
itty bitty little like nya instead of a RAWRRR then?
How's it feeling being the only one in
Halloween.
your
It's
group with 18
Halloween.
intelligence?
Halloween.
it's lonely. That's for sure.
Oh, sorry.
It's not a good idea.
Or is it? Is it
No,
maybe
it's
the
not.
best idea ever?
Okay, well I'm gonna
It's-
put the skin on and go RAWRRR.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Rawr.
Jake, can you give me a performance check? Let's see how you do with your butcher tiger
Do it.
hide and skull.
How does 21 sound?
Oh, look, with
it sounds so
21,
good.
Could have used this for getting
somehow
the pelt.
you make the limited amount you've got work, and as you're going along, you kind of get some of that congealing blood and stick some of those gaps and nicks that you made together. It won't hold perfectly forever, but in terms of like this quick job you do as you're walking down from Zach down to the rest of your group, by the time you get there, you have I'll truncate what Alia did, but you've done a similar process to what Alia did with the head of the tiger. It fits a little bit more snugly on you, but it's a big head, so it fits just fine. And when you reach the rest of your group, you look really quite similar to the humanoid tiger that ran off. You've managed to get the skin quite close together, and my daughter has just woken up. Might need to deal with her. Just give me a sec to see if she settles. But you look pretty good. You look like a
Would
bit
you
of
say
a
I look
tiger.
perfect?
Perfect. Be right back. Sorry, guys.
You look tigerific.
Bonita.
So to the point that you guys initially do kind of a little bit of a double take as Jake comes down and emerges through the undergrowth. The main factor that kind of gives away that it is Jake is that with the limited amount of material compared to what Fokionis and Alia have engulfing them, is that Jake's, the little glimpses of golden underwear that are just peeking through make it very clear that this is in fact Jake, but in an extremely realistic, if temporary, humanoid tiger outfit. Remarkably so.
Rah.
RAWRRR.
RAWRRR.
Jake, as it says, Jake gonna go RAWRRR?
RAWRRR.
Only Jake could make that Jake.
Perfect. I think I'll stick to the meow. All right, so what do you want to do? I'm going to hide these corpses
Halloween.
now that you've...
It's Halloween. Halloween. Halloween.
Yeah, what were we doing before we got ambushed by those tigers?
RAWRRR?
Like
Well,
just
RAWRRR?
weren't we following sounds? Wasn't there some sound or something we were trying to chase down?
Wasn't that it?
I don't know if it was. There was something
like
else.
a village or or we could follow the
Follow the small prints.
I was gonna say the tiger person that ran off.
The tiger person. I like it.
Humanoid tiger.
We can do that.
I get the feeling he doesn't like us. Maybe we
He just
shouldn't
hasn't met
follow
us properly yet.
Who wouldn't like us?
I know, right? Well, that's just a friend I haven't met yet. Let's go. We're away.
Yeah, there was something off to the east, wasn't there? I can't remember. Sorry. Yeah, they're right.
Yeah, well, we were heading that way, weren't we? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Before we were rudely interrupted
Yeah, just keep going.
by my new
We're
onesie.
off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Is it a twosie? Because there's two of us like wearing it.
You just invent a new.
That's some
new
solid
phrase
right there.
Yeah, go see the wizard. I'm missing my clothes.
I have provided for you.
I'm missing my common sense.
I can't help you.
I can definitely see some Wizard of Oz characters in this party.
What do you mean?
Well, you've essentially where you are. If you want really specific details, I will get you to roll a history check if you don't have those notes, because like I said, I'm not going to be a goddamn note taker. But where you guys started off entering, I'll give you because you rolled quite highly. So you guys picked up on the smell of blood and some strange noises that were coming off to the east, and that was from where you started. So from where you entered the this what you expect is a dungeon and turned out to be this jungle. You pursued over to the east at that point, which is where you landed, where you are. Where you currently are standing, that level of investigation, you would need to tell me what you're looking for or what you want to suss out if you want to perceive or investigate further, like off to the east, north, wherever. What you do know is that you definitely can see jungle all around you. It's not like there's an end point that you can see from where you're currently standing. You know what's behind you the way you came, because you tread that path, and in some instances, like Alia's feet, there's still blood on them from trudging through the muddy blood as Zach was trying to investigate the tigers. And you know that to the south there is definitely some sort of pathway, because you saw that humanoid tiger disappear into it. If you want to look more closely for like specific pathways or whatever you might be looking for to give you an indicator to help you make a decision as a group, just let me know and I can help facilitate that.
I think you could just follow the tiger person.
Oh bugger.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought I
wow.
lost all audio just then.
No, it's just muted to cough very considerabely.
COVID.
Hope not.
I got tested, but it might have turned into COVID at some point because my friends got COVID when I got back.
Oh. sure.
So,
It is, mate.
heard it
Not
twice
your ass
now.
as much as the first time.
It takes a few days the second time to show up.
yeah, it's just a cough that's hanging around now.
Yep. Have you lost your voice or no? Not now, obviously, because you're talking, but previously, or like you're about to.
Is that Focionis asking or Dante? Because that was a very Focionis question.
Did I say it? I don't know if I did.
Mate, can you just tell me? Have you lost your voice or not?
Yeah, I've had to use his substitute voice. Just had it to draw for safe occasion.
What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, following the Tiga thing.
Okay.
Really honest, that's always bad.
So is Focionis bouncing? That was a good figure. All right. So yeah, heading down towards the south, you've got a reasonably clear passage through it. You hit that point where the very pretty dot is that marks where you last saw the tiger disappearing from view, and just like pushing through, where you, having clearly seen where he exited it, it looks like that there doesn't seem to be like this clear way through, but with just knowing where he went and with just a little bit of force, you find that there's sections of that undergrowth that have been manipulated and laid out so that they look a lot more dense and thick than what they are, and it opens up into quite a clear passageway, still through the jungle, still through like very dense timber all around you and vegetation and some rocky outcroppings, but you guys actually find yourselves moving into, I need to change maps as you push through, and I need to activate you guys. I think this one comes with sound effects, so please feel free to mute it if you're not already.
In the web
shouldn't be a dog there. And I will like reorganize you guys if you want to go through into a different kind of orientation here. But where you've essentially come through and out from is the pathway you walk, because I've just placed your characters where they're a little bit easier to manage, and you get this far without any kind of incident. Walk through quite a tight little pathway that then starts to open up into what is a much more lightly wooded area. There's tall, like it's like a canyon almost that you're in, quite tall buttressed rocks around you. The trees here are much more sparse and a little bit more like a country paddock that has some shady trees in it with quite lush grass, which is at around, the grass would be somewhere around between Alia's navel and chin. So for most of you, you're kind of wading through this grass. But for Alia, you're almost like a corgi in long grass. If it gets much longer, you're going to be, oh no, sorry, you're on a shoulder, never mind. If you were down on the ground, you'd be almost having to jump up and down to see. But at the moment, you're bouncing along on top of Focionis' shoulders, so you have quite good visibility. So as you guys come around, I left the fog off just because we can work out what you guys can see, what you can't, you come out, and that opening where you actually move you in, so you all can easily reach like this kind of area there without any danger or issue, even though you weren't trying to be in any particular way investigative. You can see through that gap that's to the north of you, there's a gap through the trees that opens up into like an open grassland, and then there's a ridge that is about 15-20 feet of rock, and you can see and this is with just your passive perceptions across your group, you can see what looks to be perhaps at the angle you're on, what might be like a hollow in the side of the rock wall a bit further up to the north. You can't see perfectly just because of the angles, but what I'm talking about is the section that you can see due north of you that appears a little bit cave-like. You can kind of see the top of that undulation and that shape. To your west, you've got clear open grassland that leads up, and you can see it kind of disappearing in an upward incline around to the right that appears to be heading up towards where that looks like there's some sort of break or cave or hollow in the rock. And around you is grass and trees. What do you want to do from here?
Go up. Sorry, go up towards the hollow.
Oh, moved. Oh, there we go. Loaded. Yeah. Up. We're going north.
Yeah.
I'm going wherever you're going, fuck.
Well, or one might argue I'm going wherever you're going. So you're steering the ship. I'm just bouncing.
There was just some Remy shit going on.
All right, so give me some kind of marching order and a little bit of detail on
that's
what you're doing and how you're doing this.
Well, are we still leading? Because that's a
I'm
really
just going to yank
idea.
on Fox hair forward.
Yeah, it's like a yoke. Like, you know,
actively looking for ambushes.
Can we be like a little more cautious this time? Maybe I don't know if that goes against every bit of fabric I understand, but
nah, we'll be fine.
Nah, okay, cool.
So when you say you're actively, because I am happy to get you to roll like for some sections and keeping an eye on what's around you, or are you just talking that you kind of just you're relying on your passive?
No, we'll roll actively.
All right, then go with your either. Actually, we'll go with where you're at the moment. There's not really anything where you'd be, unless there's something specific that you want to dig into investigating. Your more general perception of what's around you at this current point, unless there is something specific that Zach wants to be looking for as he's sussing out ambushes in this quite open grassland.
No. I'll just solo roll perception.
Well, that's if the rest of the party wants to. Definitely yourself.
13.
And just so I know before I move these on, is anyone else paying any attention looking for ambushes, or is it just Zach who's...
No, I'm having too much fun in a tiger mask.
I'd love to say, yeah, but my vision is probably somewhat limited at this stage, I would imagine.
I was going to take that into account with whatever you decided you were going to do. So
it's a negative 500.
Right. All right. So with everybody else just kind of enjoying their newfound tiger dress-ups, and Zach just coming along behind. Oh my god! Just intently, like Zach is sniffing the air. He's like running his fingers through the grass, seeing if there's any sign of anything awry. His head is on a swivel, trying to look at every shadow and tree. Whereas everyone else is just kind of chatting and skipping their way through the grass. Through luck or good fortune or incredible perception on Zach's part, you guys managed to get up to this bend without any kind of issue. Zach, you haven't, despite like your stress levels being through the roof and feeling like you need a month's worth of sleep after traversing like 100 meters with this group of insane people dressed in tiger costumes, you reach that point without issue. If you are going to stay on high alert, I will get you to roll again. And if you guys are going to continue going up and around.
I will. Someone has to.
Go for it.
Again.
It's you, mate. You know that.
14.
All right. So, I mean, this is taking its toll. You're definitely feeling the fatigue setting in, but just remaining a little bit more alert. You're going around a bend. There's some blind spots coming up. And Zach, what you do notice with that slightly higher roll is that there seems to be your teammates are like tromping over it, but you're watching as they go through it that they seem to be by accident more so than design, following in this very faint set of indentations, like 2 indentations in the grass, where it's clear that someone has come through here recently. And you notice that there are some spots of quite clear blood on those grass stems as you guys are walking through them. And that will, without any ambush or anything like that, you do definitely pick up on that blood and grass. But I'm just moving you guys up because there's no issue up to the top section here, where you're now basically within about 30 feet of what is now very clearly, with all of you, even those who are more interested in dress ups than the world around you, definitely a cave entrance up ahead of you.
So I just imagine we've like killed some tiger's parents and just wearing their skins have come up to their house. And, like, oh god.
I shouldn't laugh, but it's funny as fuck.
I've been thinking it since you put them on and decided you're going to come in. Like, this is such a funny idea.
No baby.
Following after a tiger wearing the skin of other dead tigers without any idea or concern of what it might be.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like, why would he hate us?
It's fine. Don't worry about it. All as far as we just bounce. We'll just bounce. We'll bounce our way out of it.
Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy.
Oh my god.
So you can definitely see this this cave entrance. It's like the angle and the overhang. It's cast in shadow. It even like with dark vision and those sorts of things, you can't really see anything other than rocks and things from the angles you're on. You've got no sense of how deep or shallow it might be, or what may be inside from where you are currently standing 20 or 30 feet away, depending on where you are in that little queue.
Yeah, I cast as we approach, I cast light on one of my a rock or something, and just as we approach, just keep an eye out for more ambushes. Do you want me to roll again? Or?
I am going to get you to, because you're the only one who's really paying any attention, unless someone else has started to. I will get you to roll one more time as I move you guys up to that cave entrance.
All right.
He's got the best roll anyway, so you know. Shit. I could roll that.
Look, Zach, you feel a lot better with the the light on your wand or whatever you lit up. I forget what you said, rock, whatever's got the light on it. You feel a lot better with that. What you didn't really realize as you did it is, in addition to the daylight that you're currently in, you were staring directly into that as it lit up. So you've got this kind of solar flare staring into the sun after effect. And as you're looking around, like, it all looks bright and happy, and there doesn't look like there's anything untoward either at the cave or in the lead up to it. To the extent that you're all happily bouncing and chatting and wandering along, and don't even really notice until the last moment that stepping out of that shadow and now sitting upright, very, very rigidly upright, is a bloodied tiger. This is not a humanoid. This is larger than the tigers that you encountered and skinned. And beside it is a neatly folded set of damaged but well kept leather armor and familiar looking bow, and a couple of bits of metal gleaming through there that appear almost sword like. And where the damage is, I'll give you with your passives. Apart from Zach, who's still a little bit blinded at the moment, despite being the only one who's paying attention for your group. Looks like those of you who did damage to that were-tiger, where the blood is coming out, is slightly different because it's a larger figure, but appears to be in the same spots. And this tiger is sitting almost like a statue. When it sees those of you who are wrapped in the corpses and remains of the tigers that were killed, a low growl, just much deeper than anything you've heard previously, just begins in its throat, and it sort of echoes a little bit in the cave, and then it is actually picked up by a much deeper growl, where an echo turns into almost a second
Mongolian throat tiger,
second voice. But it is sitting there upright. It has after that growl, just seems to stamp that down and remain sitting there looking at you all.
Can I growl back?
Can you go back?
Can I growl back?
You absolutely can growl back, Jake. Before I see whether it's like just an interaction or a roll, are you attempting to achieve something with that growl? Are you looking to intimidate? Or
yes.
Please give me your intimidation check roll.
How does 24 sound?
Oh, damn!
Hang on a sec. I need to give them a chance to roll as well. Let's see if we're going to go well. Oh, God.
Ooh.
Yeah, this isn't.
For you, or
go well. Yeah, 6. So the tiger that is sitting there kind of almost leans forward, and as it sees you start to begin your growl, and what starts as like that playful growl that Jake was giving to the rest of your group soon turns into just this deep guttural thing that seems to start on the inside of Jake's soul before erupting out through his chest. And that tiger that was sitting upright recoils slightly, and no further noise is made. But Jake being right there growling in its face, you notice that it has moved somehow without stepping, almost slid back a step away from you, which you can see from the blood it has left behind. And you hear a slight whimper inside the cave, like a deeper adult whimper. And then you hear, after that roar begins to bounce and resonate, you hear these mewling little scared cries as something or something's much smaller than the tiger you're interacting with begin crying out inside the cave. Babies! As you hear this.
Oh dear.
But yeah, that was definitely a successful intimidation check. I'll even give you actually that as it slids back, the tiger kind of breaks eye contact with you, the one that's out the front that you guys can see, and pushes with its paw the pile that was neatly beside it, kind of jumbling it forward towards you in a pile at your feet. Not aggressively, quite submissively.
Look, let's try talking to it. I feel like maybe it could converse. I don't know.
Zach's just like, oh, fuck.
Well, it's got armor and it's trying to communicate with us, and it's got kids. We're not here to mess the kids up, you know. I don't think, are we? Quick show of hands.
Babies. No.
Not yet.
Don't touch the babies.
Not. What do you mean? Not yet.
I don't know,
dear.
you guys.
I'm not about that. Come on.
You're talking over ideas. Yeah, let me know when you guys decide what you want to do with that interaction.
I want to clap for the bloody super scary growl. Come on, that's good work.
Yeah, I'm reasonably sure that in behind Fokionus's tiger skin wrap, maybe a slight little bit of wee came out. That's a reasonable chance.
No, tiger skin smell.
We haven't found a bathroom on this level yet. So.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, we need a bathroom on this level, he says, thinking about his bingo card.
What do you guys want to do?
Look for a toilet. No. Can we try talk? Zach, you're the delegated, like, speaky type person with people, are you not? Or is it Jake? I don't know. Who is it anymore? Is it Aaliyah? One of us. Talk to him, not me.
I don't have animal fucking thing.
Well, hang on. Which one of us is not wearing a tiger skin? Let's probably go with that.
Fokionus with the big brain place.
I know, right? It'd just be like the random midriff of the tiger, like, just starts talking. Ooh, sorry.
Oh, you're probably looking like something out of the DnD nightmare of Mad Max. Is someone going to talk to it?
Zach, buddy, pal.
Does it speak English?
There's one way to find out.
Go
on, talk to it. Do it. Wait.
Do it. Do the roar.
Do it. Palpatine has instructed you must. You cannot, like, ignore the Emperor.
Do it.
Do it.
You made me feel like Anakin now.
Whoa. There's no younglings here. Just chill.
They're just in the cave.
Let's just know. I'm not bringing Padme home fresh cut flowers. Just calm down.
Do it.
I mean, I'm all for you pulling out a lightsaber because that should be like cool, but you know.
There's a time and place. This isn't one of them.
Why don't we start by asking it why it took its armor off and why it's trying to give it to us?
I think that's pretty obvious.
Look, I am a simple, like,
No way.
half-blood.
So I think, honestly, we should just leave.
I mean, I feel like this is an opportunity for us to add to our party, but okay.
Add to our I don't think...
Tiger Army.
As you guys are talking, you see the tiger keeping almost one eye on Jake after that incredible, just soul-wrenching roar that he let out. Takes very careful movements, like taking, you can see very obvious care to make no sudden movements, and also moving slowly from the injuries that it's clearly got still bleeding out. Does not go out of sight from you guys, so it doesn't disappear into the darkness of the cavern, but is kind of off to one side and just awkwardly to begin with, but then with increasingly sort of proficiency, is pushing and scooping and adding to the that what was a neat pile that's now kind of tumbled, just starts pushing coins across, and you can definitely see that there's some gold and copper and silver, and it's a reasonably substantial pile in and around all the dirt and dust and gravel that it's pushing with towards that pile of clothes. Does that get
why do we
in
feel
terms
like
of
he's trying to be scared of us and trying to get us to like go away by buying us off?
Yeah.
Are we okay with this? I mean, I know that's just more things for Ali's bag.
I think,
but
it's up to you guys. I'm okay just leaving him here.
Look. It's clearly protecting its kids, and I get that.
Yeah.
So,
but it did ambush us in the.
True, also, but it didn't know because those other fuckers might have come through first, and they just kill everything. Granted, we end up doing that as well, but it's from a different place. I promise.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're not licking knives and looking down cameras. Like, it's all good.
Yeah.
As you guys are talking, just come back to that convo. Jake, you'll be the one who sees this because the others will be a little bit distracted by their conversation. You actually see the tiger form slowly shift into that more humanoid, even though it's unclothed, it's still covered in its tiger fur. You see the shape shift to that, and the tiger actually opens its mouth, not threateningly, and points inward, and you can see that there is a jagged but seared wound where its tongue has been removed. It is showing that to you, Jake.
Get out of having to talk in a tiger voice. It's got a spell of restoring tongue and throat. Anyone?
And yeah, the other two of you, please continue.
No?
Jake,
Okay.
at this point, you're the only one who's noticed.
Can I go over and just sit down and be like, don't worry, we're not actually gonna do anything to them. Just plop down and start counting out the gold.
Yep, you absolutely can. That tiger takes a half step away from you. Yeah, not long ago you intimidated the shit out of it, and you are wearing the now starting to separate and gloop a little bit corpse of one of the tigers. It was recently, whatever the relationship may have been, ambushing you.
No way preserved.
Absolutely, you can, and I'll definitely let you know how much gold is there when you're done. The other two of you are having a conversation about what you would do next. And Ali, you can feel free to jump in on this as well. You're on Fokionus's shoulders.
You're speaking for both of us. And steering.
Ali, I'd actually give you that you would probably have seen, with your vantage point, and you're right behind Jake, you would have actually seen that interaction. Fokionus wouldn't, and Zach wouldn't. But Jake and Ali, you've seen that, and Ali, you've noticed that Jake has sat down and started counting coins.
What do I have? Because I feel like giving them I apparently one cheeseburger left.
One? What the shit?
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
Can I chat up the Tiger Man while we're there? Well, chat at the Tiger Man while we're there.
You absolutely can chat at the Tiger Man while Ali susses out burgers.
Where the fuck all my food went?
Don't look at me.
Check DnD Beyond as well. You may just not have.
I am, and I'm still super confused.
I'm confident that we can reinstate your inventory of burgers. I know you cleared off a tray. Anyway.
Yeah, right? That's why I'm so confused. Like, how
you
was I
definitely
going
have
through
one
all
or more
these?
burger. Definitely.
I was
think you would
going to
have
give
at
them all the
least.
cheeseburgers I had left.
I know you cleared off a tray before we left that would have been at least 10 or 15. So I would suggest you would have somewhere between 11 and 16. So while Ali is digging through her backpack or storage on Fockianus' shoulders, Jake, you are having a chat to the Tiger Man at the Tiger Man.
So anyway, right, I haven't been to therapy in a long time, and you can't like run away or anything, so it sucks to be you. But anyway, get this right. And then I just go into a rant about everything that has happened so far. Including everything
while
we
I'm
have
just
killed
like
and
throwing
seduced.
cheeseburgers on the floor.
So Jake's having an impromptu therapy session with the tongueless tiger. Ali's throwing out cheeseburgers. Zach's off having a coughing fit. I hope you feel better soon, mate. We won't take too much longer. We won't keep you up too much later. All right. So as you're doing this, you actually see that there's a confused look initially, but as you start getting into parts of your story that relate to this world and its, the way it functions and different things that have happened and things like, weird fish women and all the rest of the things that have happened and people dying and disappearing into motes of dust and drunk priests and all the other things that naked showers get a bit confusing. You get the feeling that maybe didn't fully understand what that was. But you can definitely see that there's...
Does he have a quizzical look on his face when it comes to the naked showers? Can I make an off comment to show him sometime?
You absolutely can. And look, there's definitely a confused look. You don't know without maybe investigating further, Jake, or being more perceptive, whether it's at the shower or the nakedness. You can either leave that be a mystery, or you can try and see if you can make an insight check to suss that a bit more if you really want to know.
I'll do an insight check.
Go. Jake should have been a bard.
15.
Look, with a 15, despite what you may have thought was the case, you notice that the confusion comes from shower. When you're talking about a shower, there doesn't seem to be any kind of... I mean, this guy's literally naked in front of you right now, even though he's got fur covering his bits. The nakedness doesn't seem to really be of any here nor there. But the shower does seem like a strange, and even the little bits of description you give of that seems to just be a foreign concept.
Like when you lick yourself to clean your fur, except with other water.
Yeah. There does actually seem to be a little bit more of understanding, perhaps with your 15, perhaps like being able to connect it to bathing in a water source or swimming or hunting in a water source and coming out cleaner. What I will give you, as this is happening and as you've been kind of on this tirade, at different points as you were talking about like people who have wronged you and upset you and attacked you and really pissed you off, and you've gone off about the AI and all different things that have given you the shits through this whole experience and traumatized you. The tiger in front of you actually clears a section and is scratching. And you don't really pick up on it till you finish your vent, but it's right in front of you, Jake, and right near where you've been neatly stacking those coins. That, for your records, is you've picked up about 125 gold pieces, 50 silver pieces, and around 90 copper pieces, as you've been making little piles there. He's scratched in what is very clearly... you guys can all recognize it as like a stereotypical clown, at least at the start of that sketch. With it's not red, but you can see like the big nose. You can see the sort of the overpainted eye makeup, the mouth, and then the oversized mouth But on that clown, as he adds more details, even though you can't see a color, there's these lines that he's taking painstaking care to draw in that almost begin to look like thick vines or roots. And on different parts of that clown, very clearly, you can see that there's they're a little bit childlike, but mushrooms being drawn. And when that is finished, that clown actually looks quite sinister, and draws what you guys are all familiar with, a big circle around it and a cross through it, and angrily slams his paw down on top of it.
Are you from the same circus as the fish lady?
That a quizzical look.
Never mind. I'm assuming
no.
you don't like this guy, though. Understandable. He looks pretty, like, I want to say try hard.
You get just this in when you talk about not liking. Whatever that guy's role has been or interaction, definitely you are correct.
Was he the one that, like, removed the mouth? The tongue?
He's some
You see the face frown, and a nod of understanding in what you're saying, and as doing so, also gestures into the cave behind him, and coming out tentatively at first, but then with increasing confidence when they see what you can assume is their dad, and the scattered burgers that are in front of them. First one, then two, then three of these just beautiful tiger cubs, but they're a bit bigger than Alia. Like the tigers are big, the cubs are oversized as well compared to their Earth counterparts of the same age, start coming out, and then next thing you know, they are just diving at that food and knocking each other over, and there's bits of burger going everywhere as they try and grab, even though there's like 15 to 20 burgers scattered there, they of course all want the same ones. They're very clearly young, and they're trying to kind of growl at each other, but it's coming out as like this meowy squeak. It's incredibly cute. There's no blood drawn. The milk teeth, if any. There barely any claws coming out of the feet. Out of the paws feet. But as they're doing that, and as you're all kind of caught up and captivated on that, the tiger in front of you points to the three of them, Jake, and then with a real look of sadness, holds up a fourth finger on that unfurling of the paw and points to that that image that was drawn and stomped on.
Babies.
Can we add him to the murder list?
Sure. Do it.
I'm assuming you're talking about the mushroom clown, not the tigers.
No.
Oh, don't hurt the babies.
I'm talking about the mushroom clown.
Zach, I'll give you, because you have been a little bit more attentive to surroundings, and with the glow of your one fading from your eyes, I'll give you your passive back. You are the first to kind of take your attention away from the very cute tiger cubs that are rolling around and bits of burger and things flying, and you notice that just inside the cave, and it's just been caught by your light, and the others no doubt will notice at some point as well, is this very large figure, larger than the male that is outside of the entryway, that you can clearly see because of the just sitting upright. You can definitely see that there are female tiger teats on this creature. It is definitely the tiger's mums. They are still feeding, and she has just come to the edge of the shadow to watch what's going on. Non-threatening, just has come into visibility, and you can see very clearly her front paw it's semi-healed and it's semi-scabbed, but there is a gash that has split it basically down the center and even part way up the leg as well, where she's kind of holding her weight off that left paw. A very severe traumatic injury, not quite recently suffered.
No. Well, I'm all out of healing spells.
Do we have anything in
Do
our
we have
bag that might help? I don't know, like a tiger balm or something.
Tiger.
I couldn't help it.
Dad joke of Halloween.
So good.
Does he know where that clown guy is?
Are you asking him? Are you asking Jake? Are you asking
No,
me?
you.
Jake.
He might.
Oh, okay, good.
If you want me to find out.
Ask him.
Ask him.
Yep.
Where?
Sorry.
Yeah. Sort of point to the picture and be like, "Oh, where is that guy? So you can look out for him."
You see, like almost like with Jake, there's definitely some processing time going on. As you may have noticed from his saving throws during the battle, intelligence was not one of those super high qualities. Not done by any stretch, but definitely some thought going in. And you see him start to kind of try to sketch something, and then just like kicks to the side, and eventually the best effort that he brings out and then steps away from, so you can look at it. It looks like, and again, it's scratched with a tiger claw into this quite hard packed dirt, so it's not like it's a super artistic representation, but it's quite clear that there's an attempt to draw like jungle, and then behind that is what you can see is not like what we know as a city of skyscrapers, but what are clearly man-made structures of 3-4 levels or more that are butting up against the jungle. It looks like a representation of a larger town or city. Essentially, with your passive intelligence.
Is it like Flintstone style, where it's like 3-story like cliff face with holes in it? Or...
Which direction would that be in? Like, with the point with the finger.
So with actually, that's a good question. I need to have a look at where you guys sit in the... Consider your next actions while I have a look at where this sits in the larger game world. One moment. That's in my notebook. All right, you guys are here.
Well, I mean, looking where we are anyway, there's not... It's kind of a bottleneck, isn't it? Unless we're climbing the cliffs or some shit.
So I will... Essentially, from where you are standing, he's pointing in a straight line. And I mean, in a literal sense, it's pointing straight to rocks. But the direction I will give you with your base intelligence, Zach, without having to do any rolls or anything with it, it is pretty easy for you to ascertain angle of the sun, etc. that's around you, that it's sort of around an east, and from where you are here, east northeasterly direction. And if you superimpose that on where you started, it's pretty close to due east from where you were heading. So where you sort of started and you got distracted by that ambush, you were heading in an largely easterly direction. But from where you are standing here, it's like east northeast from this position.
Can we ask how long it would take to get there, or how far away? Like, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. All right, I think we should head off.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Got a plan.
On the way, let's look for a bathroom. Or not.
As
ask him where the bathroom is.
He doesn't
just
know.
everywhere.
Just points to the ground.
Wait, favorite bush, like backing around where you.
While you litter tray, just
while you guys are having that conversation of what to ask next, and he's trying to follow along with it as well. Alia, you notice, and Jake, you do too, because it's right in front of you. But Alia, because you threw the hamburgers out, you notice that one of the tiger cubs has kind of run back inside, and it comes out with something in its mouth, like proud as punch.
Presents.
Trotting along, does not seem to be bothered at all by the skin that you guys are wearing, and sort of comes up on two paws on Fokionus's legs. So it doesn't come barely like above your knees. Big for a cat, but not for a giant tiger.
Oh, what have you got there, little fella?
It sort of shakes its head a little bit.
Random hand comes
as
out
you
in the middle of
speak,
the thing.
pulls it away from you and attempts to hoik it up towards Alia, the person who threw it. Definitely knows who threw the food out. Are you going to grab whatever it was, Alia?
Oh hell yes! Let's see how well I do this.
I will give you. I'll give you with your passives that you easily grab this out of the air. Like it's a looping tiger cub throw, and as you grab it, you get this thing that is basically like the bones and sinew of a forearm that are still sort of loosely hung together. All the meat and stuff's been stripped off it, but it's kind of just hanging together enough. And through the hands, and there's a few like knuckles and fingers that are missing. They've obviously been well loved and chewed, but you've got this thing, and when you move it, it rattles. And as it rattles, all three of the tiger cubs are just fixated.
I have a toy.
Yeah. So you're rattling and shaking this human arm, and the three of them are just fixated on every movement of it.
I have a tiger on me.
Just throw it.
And while Ali is shaking that around, Jake, you also have with the gear that you picked up, it is just plain leather armor, a standard longbow, and 2 scimitars is what was in the equipment pile.
Oh, that's good.
In addition to the gold, silver, and copper, the 125, 50, and 90.
So I guess I'll put the leather armor on.
Maybe. Seems like a good idea.
Up to you.
You could make modifications.
Oh, you could get some tiger stripes on there.
That was a wicked zoom by your camera, Egg. I'm not going to lie.
He's going to start making Egg laugh because it's just hurting him.
I can see poor Egg.
I think I'd actually like to take the skin off and like fold it neatly and like maybe offer it to the and apologize and be like, look.
Floor rug.
I don't know if they've got anything they'd like to do burial-wise.
The lamb thing that you were trying to create there. The tiger wearing the tiger skin. Like, oh god.
And you actually see that very confused look, takes a step back, and it's like, this, because it's humanoid at this point, this very human gesture of,
nah, man,
like,
good. No, good, thanks.
No, like it is incredibly clear across any language barrier that no thanks.
Oh, so good.
This tattered skin with eyeballs poked out. Yeah, it's No.
Can I
You
offer
guys have
some
got-
dynamite?
Yeah, absolutely you can.
Just a
Okay.
single stick of dynamite.
Just one. How are you
Yep.
going to explain what the fuck it does?
Well, this guy was doing some pretty impressive work. I guess
The
we'll
last
find
thing I
out.
want to
But
hear as we walk off is fucking boom and then
You-
like, no cave entrance.
a
That'll
little
be very sad.
half a baby tiger. You see the tiger like sniffs initially at the dynamite, and then eyes are clearly recognizes what it is. Takes it the closest thing to a snatch that you've experienced, the closest thing to an aggressive after your intimidation, and that stick of dynamite goes, and like a magician's earth trick, sleight of hand, it is gone. It has taken that dynamite, it has stashed it somewhere. It appreciated that very much.
Can I offer 2 more sticks?
No.
You
We need
absolutely
lots.
can.
I trust this tiger man.
How many have you got left?
With a little bit more
12.
control this
Right.
time. It takes those 2 and holds them, almost like cradling them. Very appreciative look and body language, and almost reverence of what it has. Don't know what it's got planned for it, but you just made that tiger very happy. Meanwhile, Ali is still shaking this bone around, and there's tiger cubs bouncing all around Fokionis, like knocking paws of possibly a dead relative out of the way.
Dead relative.
Doesn't seem to be any real recognition or concern of the dead from those tiger cubs.
I have the power.
So good.
I have been given
All right.
power.
Do you guys want to do anything more here? Do you want to?
No, we need to go. Otherwise, like, Jake's going to give away all the dynamite.
Not all of it.
Look, Spar's more than happy for Jake to
Oh,
give
yeah,
as
I
much
bet
dynamite to the
Spar is
tigers.
I still have plenty.
There we
He
go.
does. He really does. I need to go and update that with there's 3 more down. I've got my
12 to
dynamite
go.
page in my notes so that I can keep track of Jake's dynamite. Actually, I don't want to do that now. I got to go find the page. You've got 12, you reckon, Jake? I reckon you're right.
I have a dozen.
And then
Doesn't
there's the
matter.
1 pocket dynamite that's still with the fish lady.
Baker's dozen.
All right. So, what would you get if you guys are intending on leaving? What would you guys like to do here? So you've had this communication. You're very clear on that. You put the mushroom clown on the shit list. The tiger made it very clear. At least Jake definitely got this message loud and clear that it has taken one of their cubs. And you've handed over dynamite. Ali has got a human hand rattle toy. And you've got a bunch of loot that Jake has picked up.
Time to depart.
Am I taking the hand with me, or am I giving it back?
None of the time, they're not trying to like clamor to get it. They definitely threw it to you voluntarily and are have been like happily fixated on it as you shook it, but then losing interest when you stopped. You can do with it what you will.
You think it's a gift, or you think it's
give it
a
back?
play toy? Is that what you're trying to decide?
What's it
I
taste
can let
like?
you if you actually want to like definitely know for sure. Give me. I'll let you choose. I reckon you can do either a nature or a insight. You can make a choice on that, and I'll let you know depending on what you roll, whether it was a gift or they want you to play with it with them.
Does 19 help us figure that out?
Yeah, Ali can either roll or roll with the system.
Oh, well, I'm part of Alia, so we're like,
Oh, you're both
yeah?
rolling. Okay, yeah, sure.
I rolled 19. I did it in DnD Bingo, sorry.
Yeah, no, as long as you give me the number.
Yeah.
I'll get Alia's as well.
I'll do a nature check then.
Well, mine was -1, so that's why I didn't do nature. is insight. Because that's 0.
Oh wait, insight. I have a better chance at insight than I do at nature.
Make you, whichever one you'd you
Okay.
prefer.
Do it.
Is that 20? 20.
So between the two, you're like a 19 and a 20. You both come to the realization almost at the same time, almost jinxing each other and owing each other a can of Coke, that it's a gift. That it was like thank you for that strange looking creature that's more like them than the other people that are around, even if it is wearing, Uncle Barry's head as a hat. But it was a gift. It was a appreciation of all of this amazing food, giving something back, prized possession back in return. The human hand.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in my bag after a few more shakes.
And they go back to sniffing around for finding little bits of meat and lettuce and cheese and whatever else that they can scuff around or roll around in, and every now and then licking some off each other's fur because they ended up with it everywhere.
Oh, Alia, these dudes belong with you. They're just rolling around licking shit.
But they're babies.
I'm not suggesting we take them.
No, I'm not. If you want to try and go down that road, that's your call.
No, sorry.
I'm just having a laugh at baby tigers acting like Alia. That's what I was having a laugh at.
All right, let's move out, which means
Let's roll out.
Yeah, I guess we wave with human hand and severed human hand and
Yeah. All right. Well, if you're all heading, you guys see them basically watching you go.
Can I pat the tiger man on the way out?
On the head, shoulder, you try and do it like a pet or like a friendly gesture. What do you
like? A friendly, gentle pat on the head. Like
a
don't worry, we'll go deal with it. Kind of.
Friend, be comforted. We'll fucking kill that guy and bring your kid back.
Yeah.
Type of pat, if there is such a thing.
I will absolutely you can. And are you saying this stuff to him as well, Fokionis or Jake, or are you just looking to impart that with the gesture?
I'm gonna burn that clown down.
As you're feeling that initial, you sort of feeling stiffen as you make that initial contact, but then picking up on what you're saying, you feel that head sort of nod in appreciation, and then this furry hand reaching around behind your head and almost returning your your gesture, copying what you're doing.
Can I try and purr?
No.
Absolutely. After your intimidation, your other rolls, I'll give you that Jake can successfully bust out a purr. And in this one, you hear that same resonate in his chest, and then in that of his mate, and then these little squeaky versions from the cubs who have now kind of wandered back into
throwing things at him
into the cave.
That was the best
All right.
thing ever.
So you're all heading back, essentially heading back out the way you came.
Yeah, well, there's not much other way.
So through all of this and the time you guys have spent and when this opened, I'll bring you guys back. It's safe the way you came. So back out to where you essentially were. Let's activate that scene. So coming out where that the dot was.
Hey, we were there.
And I'll just get you back to where you were.
Hey, Spa,
yeah.
We might want to wrap this up.
I
think we have a sleepy egg in the chat.
We absolutely are wrapping it up. We will leave it there with you guys having successfully followed, met the family of tigers, found out with some interesting nonverbal interactions. Where things or some things that have happened, or at least some players that are in the field that are less than savory. And we'll pull up there. I'm not going to worry about going into camping, etc., because you're still in the afternoon. You're not late in the evening, and we'll pick up there with getting late in the day, but without being nighttime. Oh God. Oh my God.
Oh, that's
and on that
so
note,
good.
I'm going to end the stream, and you guys can all enjoy the chat about how Lily was proposing that the Tiger Man might be seduced. And Egg, I hope you're feeling better soon. All of you, thank you very much for picking up where we left off. Remember, nothing next week, but you can catch up on the rest of this on YouTube. Until then, peace out, Twitch. Love you. Thanks for hanging out through the D&D craziness.
To be honest, I've seen it. Everyone go check out channel and Discord for Lily's latest.